morning, everyone. Oh, no, it's actually good afternoon, everyone. Oh, you can see how tired I am. I think it's morning and it's in the afternoon already. No, really, seriously, welcome to our April bonus. It's a bonus post-out kit. So anyone who joined in April and joins in May, or joins in May, unfortunately, they're both booked out now. Like April's is already started and May's has already been booked out. But the people that have joined in this post-out one, it's exciting because someone's going to win a glass mat studio. Hi, Tanya. How are you? Good to see you. So if you're opening up your very first kit, I'm sure you would have got your pin, which was this cute little butterfly. I love this. This can hook onto your handbag. It can... Hi, Kaz. You in the car at Tassie, having a day, waiting for the boys to finish their fishing. Big day, but at least you got some entertainment happening. How gorgeous is this pin? I love it. Now, because we're going to be taking a break from the post out after May, anyone who joins our paper puncture will be receiving pins and that in that. So whether you're a team member and you join the club, or whether you're a customer, a new customer, a VIP customer, whatever, you'll be receiving some really cute goodies from me. So today's class is a waterfall card, and we're going to be stamping and making our own in-home DSP paper. Why? It's a good question. Because when I actually design the kits up, sometimes I don't have enough DSP paper to spanned out to all the kits for what I want to cut up and get ready for you. So this is a really good way for you guys to make your own, and I'm going to share how to do that today. So the two stamp sets that I'm using is the Sweet Blossom and the Pretty Floral. But look, there's lots of different ones that you can use. I mean, this one's gorgeous as well. This goes with the washi tape, so you could use this as well if you wanted to, the Extraordinary Floral. I like the words in this one. I want a happy birthday today, or a thank you. It's got some nice little words in it, so you can mix and match your stamp sets to your project. You don't have to go, oh, I just need to buy one stamp set. You can mix and match with what you've got already at home, which is really awesome. So our lucky raffle winner, and if you come on later and you're watching the replay, hello to yous and welcome, and I'm so excited that you can come on and watch the replay, because I know there's a lot of kits that have gone out, and I know not everyone can make Sundays, and that's fine. I mean, we all have things to do in our lives. Hi, Tan. I love the way you guys all have a great little conversation happening going over here, which is really great. So the lucky person, whoever got you yellow 6, I'll write your name on here if that's you. Hi, Kay. Let me know and I'll write your name on here, and you'll win the lucky prize for this month, April. And then we've also got raffle tickets. You would have got 2 raffle tickets. So the other raffle ticket, don't lose. It would be a different colour. I think it's green, if I remember correctly. And that one will be drawn on our first event in May, and that's for the Glass Mat Studio. So if you've joined the 2 months, you'll have 2 tickets. If you join just May, you'll have 1 ticket. Okay, so that's fine. So our lucky ticket was you 6. I wonder who won that. Our beautiful Melissa Ann won last month. She had number 100. So congratulations to Melissa. I will put that up later. Okay, sometimes it takes a little bit of time for people to get back to me when they've won, because it depends when they open their kit and when they see they've got the lucky number. When they're watching the replay, they go, oh, got the lucky number. So let's come down to the workbench. I hope you're all doing well this morning. It's a bit overcast here in Warragul and a little bit cool. So I'm actually starting off with the Sweet Blossom stamp set, and I'm using the stem and the flowers, but you can coordinate. Now I have put in this kit, we have got a piece of the Designer Series paper that actually goes with this suite. And this will give you a bit of a guide also on how to make your Designer Series paper up, okay? It will give you a bit of an idea on where you can go and what you can do. But also in the instruction sheets that you would have received, I'm sure I sent this out to everyone. There'll be a cutting guide. There should be a step-by-step little guide in there as well, showing you how to do it. Okay. Now, if you haven't got the colour inks that I've got, that's fine. Just go with the colour that suits you and what you're going with. Okay. I tried to pick colours that go with a lot of different other colours. So we're going to start off with one of our greens. So you can either go with, if you like a darker green, you can go with garden green, you can go with old olive, you can go with soft sea foam if you like a really soft one. But I'm going to start off with granny apple green. So I'm going to start off with stamping out my images here. Now we're doing it on this white strip. Now this white strip should be 4 centimetres, because after we finish, we're going to cut these into 4x4s. Okay, to go on to our waterfall. So you want it just to be consistently coming over your page. So we're going to start off with one here. You can put them wherever you want. They don't have to be in any sort of order. You can just stamp away, okay? And that's the one thing that I love about making my own Designer Series paper, is that you can do it however you want. There's no right, wrong. I'm just grabbing my cleaning pad out here. And I'm going to clean that off. Now, the next colour that I'm going to come in with is something similar to on here, on our Designer Series paper. So I'm going with the peach pie. If you don't have peach pie, you might have calypso coral, you might have a soft pink, a soft blue. You might bring in whatever colour that you want to bring in. So there's, like I said, no right or wrong. Okay, so I'm just going to line this up. And these are really cute because these actually go into where the stems are here. You can line them up. Okay, so I'm just going to line these up into the gaps. And you can sort of see you've got that gorgeous little flower happening over here, which is very similar to this one in here on the Designer Series paper. Okay, so if you're not sure how to make your own Designer Series paper, sometimes you might see one that you really love, and also you'll see that a stamp set is very much similar to it, or got similar stamps in it. You can actually then use your Designer Series paper piece as a guide, and then you can make the rest with your stamps. Okay, so we're going to start off with this. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we want this to sort of fill up a little bit, because we don't want just a little bit, unless you just want one little piece on your paper, that's fine. But we want to fill it up a little bit more. So we're going to grab our 2 stamp sets, because you can sort of see it's got other things in here. So this one, the Pretty Floral, has this one here, which is really cute. So it has these flowers here that you can put in as well. It's got this lot here that you can put in as well. So there's lots of different ones that you can come in and put into here. So I thought we might go with this one here. Just for the colouring, add a little bit of colour in here. So we're going to go with a garden green this time, but we're going to do a bit of a stamp off. So always when you're doing a stamp off, have a little bit of scrap paper close by that you can stamp off on. Okay. The good thing about sometimes having that scrap paper is that you can use it to punch things out later on, and it gives you very interesting punch ideas as well. So we're going to stamp off there, and we're just going to stamp it over here. It doesn't matter if you overlayer things. We're just going to come in and fill this paper up. Okay. Now, because we're doing fun fold cards or ideas for fun fold, or it's going to take a bit longer to do our cards, okay, because they're a lot more work and a lot more into this. So if we only get 2 done today, that's fine. We'll make another date and get the others done, because I don't want to rush you and I don't want you to feel overwhelmed with trying to get all this done, because there's a lot in the fun folds. So we've got 12 fun folds to do this month, and we've got 12 next month. So we might go in a little bit longer for that reason, okay? So don't feel like if you can't get it done, it's okay, because I will come back. I'll just keep going until we get them all done, but we might go into May and we might go into June, okay? But that's okay. No, I want yellow this time. This one's the peach pie. I want yellow. So I'm going with Daffodil Delight because it's a bright but nice type of yellow. Okay, and I'm just going to come in with sort of like wrong stamp. That's all right. Wrong stamp. Grab the right stamp, Teresa. I'm going to come in with the little flowers. Okay, so solid stamp. So I want to come in with this, and I'm just going to come down over what we just did and bring in a bit of yellow over it. If you feel like it's too dark, you can always come in and stamp off. That's not a problem. It's entirely up to you what you want to do with that. But it just brings that colour back into it. So it's just virtually putting patterns on, bringing the colours in. Make sure you sort of bring it all in across the page, because you want that to definitely come in right across. Okay, so now we want this one. And I want to go with the Petunia Pop, or you can come in with Petunia Pop, you can come in with Berry Burst, you can come in with a darker colour, whatever colour you want. And this is going to sort of come in, filling a few gaps here with this one. Okay, so you can sort of bring it in a little bit. You can bring a little bit up here. Remember, you can always come off the page a bit. You don't have to do a full one. You can just keep filling the gaps. You can bring a little bit in over here. So you can sort of see that you're just filling those gaps in. Now you've got 2 choices here. You've got another little stamp that's got a centre in it that you can fill it in. Or if you only want to fill part of your flowers in, you can use a blend and just come through and just colour in a few of your flowers. You don't have to colour them all in if you don't want to. That's entirely up to you. And you can just bring in a bit of colour and just leave some white, and you can leave some coloured. So this is another way that you can make it a little bit more interesting. You don't have to do all the colours. Okay, so you can just sort of come in with a little bit of colour. It's choice, and then that way you can also bring in different colours. So you might want to do mixed colours in here because your designer series paper has a lot of colours on it. So you can bring in all the colours on a flower, which is fine, you know. So, or you can use the little stamp, the 2-step stamp that you can stamp into the ink, and it will fill the whole lot in at once. So it's a choice thing. Okay, so don't forget we're learning techniques as well as fun folds this month. So lots of little techniques, lots of little fun folds happening. Now, the one thing that I do like is when you're doing something like this, sometimes you just want to find something that you can use. This one's got lines in it. So I'm just going to grab this lime one. Sometimes you get like a grungy dots. Dots. You get grungy dots. You get all different ones. This one's got like little lines through it. So I'm just going to pop that over there for a minute. So you want to pick a light colour, not too dark, but I'm going to go with Blush and Bride. Did you all bring your cuppa today? I hope you got your cuppa with you because you all need a cuppa. And we can stamp off once again, okay? And then you can just come in and fill some gaps with this. And it doesn't have to be exactly the same order. It's just filling some of that white and bringing in something a little bit different, okay? And you can stamp over the top because it's a very light ink. And I'm stamping off. So it gives it a little bit more of a different feel, but it fills some of the white gaps and it brings in a bit of colour. So whatever stamp you're using or stamps you're using, you can mix and match it to whatever. Now, the designer series paper I've put in, if you've got designer series paper that goes with yours, you can use this for just the plain card. Okay, don't feel like you have to because I've put it in. Use it if you want to change it to go with your stamp sets. That's the beauty of being able to do your own, which is really great. So let's grab our paper trimmer now because we've got our little bits here and we're going to come down and cut them at 4. So you will see that the strip here, bring it around, is 4 centimetres. So it goes to 4, so we want to cut these off at 4. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3. We probably only want 3 of them, but you might want to cut out 4. You might want to cut out the extra ones for the simple reason is that you might have something pattern on this one that suits the square better at the time. So I've given you enough for a few squares there. So I've got your squares ready. So they go down there. So we've got our squares. Now this is an interesting card because it's sort of got like a bit of an easel at the back, a stand I mean. So you've got all your other little pieces here as well. And it looks a little bit confusing because you have a white piece, you've got a designer series piece, you've got 2 petunia pop pieces, you've got 1 espresso, only espresso, and then you should have 1, and I think this is 5 by 5. So 1 5 by 5, and then you should have 3 that are 7 by 5, and you need to score these ones at 2. I'm sure it's 2. Let me just check. Or no, let me just check. Yes, it is 2. So you need to score this one at 2, this one at 2, and I'll do this one. So we need to score these at 2. And I like to go into this side of my cutter because it keeps my card flat and it's not hanging off the edge and I'm not trying to get my hand down on a tiny little piece. So I love that it's got the 2 over on this side as well. Now don't forget we're going to be using a score blade, the score one, not the cutting one. And we're going to make our other one. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to do that. You need to score them. So you'll have 4 of them and one without a score. Okay, so you'll have this. So this piece here is going to be our drop down piece. So we want this piece next. We also have a little brown petunia pot, and you can make your own if you want to, your own paper, or you can use the strip that I gave you with the designer series paper. So we want to put these in because this is our strip to pull the waterfall through. Okay, so I'm just going to glue these. All the measurements are in your instruction sheet, okay? But this is 9 by 1.5 if you're making your own. You'll need a piece of white paper. And sometimes I do a whole piece of A4 or half a piece of A4 and make up the designer series paper. Okay, got the wrong glue. That one's the empty one, I think. I think this is my new one. Let's hope. When it doesn't come out, you go, it's got to be empty. But I'm going to show you some great tips and ideas on how to use more out of your glue or get more out of your glue, because it's not cheap and we want to get the most out of it. Okay. So this is just going to go on here. You've got that nice little border all the way around. And then this one's going on here. So put some glue on. Don't forget, if you come on today, say hello. Tell me where you're from. Tell me if it's your first time with me. I'm so excited. I love doing our post-out classes. Like I said, we will be taking on a little bit of a break just because there's a lot going on in the world and people are struggling financially a little bit more at the moment, which is a bit sad, but unfortunately that's the way it is. So this is our brown piece. Now you can do these any size that you want, but this is 10.5 by 13.5, which is our base, okay? Now, I haven't given you a card to stick this onto. Why not? Because it's meant to have a stand on the back, and some of these, depending on what width you want, you can cut these down a little bit to make the border that you want. So I'm going to cut the border down a little bit just to show you what I mean. So this one is 10.5 by 13.5. So I want to cut this down a little bit more this time. So I want to cut it down to 9.5. To 12.5. I'm going to cut it 12.5, make it 12.5 and 9.5. Ooh. Yeah, I think about 9.5. Now this is a choice thing, remember. This is a choice. You don't have to go exactly with the size that I've given you. If you want a bigger border around your card, like to make it stand out a bit more like this. So don't forget, these are learning classes, ones that you learn how to do different things with and how you can alter cards as well. So it's just not a matter of sitting there and putting a card together. It's a matter of giving you great gold nuggets so that you can make the best from your cards. And from a template, from one template, you can make lots of different ones by depending on what your measurements are. Okay, so we've got that. And then we've got our designer series paper that can go in here. So you can cut this down a little bit. So I'm going to trim a little bit off the edge here. And it's always handy to remember what you cut this at. Even though we just did it, it's all when you're talking. So this one's going to be trimmed off at 9. So I'm going to trim this one off at 9. But you can trim yours to whatever size you're making your card. And I always say you can trim it off whichever side suits you as well. You don't have to trim it to one side. You can trim it off if you've got a big blank bit on here. You can trim it off this side. So you can sort of see this is going to sit now in here, which is beautiful. Okay, so this is going to go in here with a border around it. Tell me in the comments, have you made waterfall cards before? They're all different. Waterfall cards can be made so differently. And that's the thing. So I'm just going to... We need this long brown piece, early espresso piece. We just need to put that same border, this same width here. So let's just measure that again, because I know that was a little bit of time ago when I told you that. So it's 2 centimetres. So we need to do a 2 centimetres on the top of this brown one. So line it up to the 2 centimetres. We're not cutting it off. We're scoring it. Scoring, scoring, scoring. So we've got the 2 here. And this is going to go on the front here. Now we can trim this off if we want to, but let's just go with this for the moment. I'll trim this off in a minute. So this depends on how many waterfalls you want. You can have a longer one, you can have a bigger card, you can have a long card. Whichever way you want to go, you can put this on that it fills the whole Designer Series paper like this. So let's start putting our pieces together here. So the first one we want is just our normal square, our normal brown square that's going to go in here. But we're going to, before we put that on, we're going to put a petunia pot. And I've given you a blank one. And the blank 4x4, if you, to put your words on. So you can put your happy birthday, your thank you, or you can use it the same. You can, if you don't want to put your words on that, then you can use, you've got extra paper that you made that you can put on the top one. So you can either put one that you made on the top like this, if you want to, and then you can sort of do a little word over the top, or you can just stamp out a word onto the plain one if you want the plain one. So out of the loveliest tree, and I know a lot of girls have got this one because it's such a great one. It's got a great little happy birthday in here. I love that it's got a great little happy birthday in here. And you can just sort of sit it on there. You know it's going to fit in there. Okay, so you can decorate this up if you want to as we go along as well. So we're just going to put this on here. And I'm just going to make sure that I've got this looking pretty good. Now I'm going to come in with whatever colour ink you want. I'm going to come in with the petunia pop. You can come in with early espresso if you want to. You can come in with black if you want to. Or you can come in with one of the colours that you're using within your card. So I'm just going to put the happy birthday here, which is really cute. Isn't that a cute font? I love it. Okay, I just saw your name pop up. Isn't it good when you... Oh, hi, Susan. It's funny when you look up, you see a little name pop up. Okay, so we are going to go a bit over time, like I said, on these videos particularly, because they are fun fold cards and you can't do them in half an hour. Okay, it's just impossible. unless I speeded through it, and then it wouldn't be fair on you guys because you wouldn't know. But if you wanted to bring a little bit of colour into this, you can just come in with this over it. You can do it on a bit of an angle. This is just those lines, and I'm just stamping off and then coming in over it just a little bit to give it a little bit of colour, but not too dark. Just a tinge. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just a tinge of colour on there. You can put a flower on there. You can do whatever you want. Keep that there for a minute. Okay, so this one's going to be glued down, and this is going to be our first one. Okay. Whoop. Don't want it on my finger. Okay, so that's our happy birthday. And this one's going right on the top here, right up on this fold here. Okay, so that's our first one. So I'm going to glue this bit here. You can get your bone folder as you're going through and just give this a bit of a varnish. Press down, it will help it hold down, help it flip through after. So glue on here. And put our first one down. Now, like I said, you can put it as your designer series paper that you've just made. You can put a word on it. There's no right, wrong. It's just what you feel. If you're doing a birthday one, you can even do like a bunny or a baby card. You could have little bunnies all coming out, or a baby card or whatever. So now the next one is going to be this one, and this one's going to be under here like this. So you open up that bit. So we're going to put this on first so you can sort of see. So petunia pop or whatever colour you're decided to go for. If you're kept a lot of the girls I know, the cards that I have sent them, you kept as a template, and that's fine. I think that's a great idea. And then you can just cut yours as you go and follow along. Okay, and then our designer series paper that we've made can go in here. Okay, so, or if you're using designer series paper that you have in your cupboard, you can put that one. Depends what you're using. This is our one we just made. Okay, and that's our first one. Now this is going to go straight in underneath there. So it's going to come down like that. So you'll have that little bit showing. But you're just going to put the glue on this bit here. Let me just check. I've got one here because I know. Yeah, I knew I'd do it wrong. Okay, it's going this way. That's it. We're sticking it on this one here. And I'm just going to check that. And it's good to have a template to check where you're going, because sometimes we forget if we haven't made it for a while. So this one's going up here, on here. So it's going up over the top of this one here. So you see it's got a little bit there. So it's on the short side. It's going on to the piece that's already got that little 2 centimetre piece up here. Let me just put this one on. Okay, so that's going on there because it wants to be able to bend like that. Okay, it wants to be able to bend over like that. Okay, so we're going to turn it up. We're working on this short piece. So we're going to get our next brown, and this is going to go if you see, that's coming down way too long. I mean, that piece is the same. So this one's going to line up to that score line this time. Okay, so this is going to line up to a score line. So you've got those bits hanging out underneath. Let's put this one on. This goes into the square. Once you've made a couple of these waterfall cards, you're going to love them. You're going to keep making them, I'm telling you now. They are so fun for the kids or for even adults. They love them. So we've got this, and then we can actually add another part in here. And like I said, you've got a few, so you might want to look around and go, oh no, I want this one in here. So you can put this one in. It just, whatever you want, you can sort of see that you're going to have this bottom 2-inch bit, 2 centimetre, sorry, is going to be showing. Okay, so this goes like this, so this flips over. And we're just going to put the glue on this bit here, on the 2. And it's going to line up to this line, that 2. So underneath that score line, we're going to come down and put this one. Make sure you don't put it over the score line because it's got to flip. Okay, so we've got to make sure that they can all flip. So make sure it turns over. Make sure that it can all turn over. Okay, so when it comes down, it's going to flip up and flip up and flip up. Okay, so we're going to do another one. Have we got another one? Or is that the last one? No, I think we've got another one here somewhere. We've got another one. So we're going to put this one on. You can do these waterfalls as long as you like or as wide as you like. They're all made up with the same sort of idea. So as long as you have all the squares the same. So these are all 4 by 4 squares, but I've gone 2 centimetres up for my score line. So you might have a 6 by 6, but you might have a 3 here. You do half. Okay, so this is 4 by 4. So your score line needs to be half of your 4, which is 2. So if you're doing 3 by 3, your score line needs to be 3. I hope that made sense. I hope that made a little bit of sense for you. But that is a fantastic little gold nugget, because listen to it over and over if you have to, because honestly, it really, you can make them any size you want by just knowing that you're going to do half of whatever your square is to be what your join is, your score part. The same with your width, okay? And they're really good because you can do photos on them. So once again, we're going to put, this is the piece that we've just done, and we're going to put the glue on this top bit here. And this is going to line up right underneath this score line here. So it's going to go in under here. Not over the score line. You've got to make sure that it's not over the score line. It's just got to be right underneath the score line, because it's got to be able to flip. So we're going to just line him up. Okay, so now we've sort of got it going like this. So when you're actually going to pull on it, it's going to flip these cards up like this. Okay, so on the bottom here, we're going to just use a hole punch. So you can use a hole punch or whatever you got there. And you can put a piece of ribbon, you can put whatever you like into this little hole. Okay, I didn't add anything into that today for the simple reason is because I don't know what colours you're using. So I've just left it for everyone to add whatever they want. Okay, so now we're going to, this has got to pull down. So now we're going to put our little mechanism in here. So we're going to put this here. And I'm lining it up to the petunia pop down the bottom. Make sure it's lined up. Make sure you sort of eyeball, and then this is going to go in here. You're only going to glue here and here. So you're just going to add a little bit of glue here and a little bit of glue here. Now, years ago we used to put lots of different things, eyelets, lots of different things that you can put through there. So whatever you've got in your stash, you can put through there. That's fine. So we're going to make sure that that's holding down. Okay, we're going to make sure that's holding down. Now I'm just going to hold that there for a minute and pull this down like this, so you can sort of see how that's going to work through there. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to glue just, it's sort of like, I'm trying to just work it out how I can show it to you. Well, I suppose if I turn it over this way. So you're going to be under that last score line, you're going to be adding some glue in here, into this area here. Just make sure it's only about 2 centimeters wide. Then slide this through here, slide that through, whoop, hold that up, and then bring it down to make sure. So I'm just going to hold it up this way because it's going to make it easier for me. You've got to make sure you've got it nice and straight. Okay, we're just going to line it up this way for me. It's easier. And it's going to be on this last one here. So you can press down on that last one, because that's where the score line is under there. So then you got this that's going to come down like this. So that last one stays like that. And then you can push it back like this. Okay, I know it's a bit confusing. Okay, so it's a very little bit different of a card, this one, because you haven't got a card base, but you can put it on a card base if you want to. So let me just share with you what we're going to do with this bit here, which is going on the back here. We need to score again. Turn my paper trimmer around. We need to score it at, I think it's, we're going to do 2. We're going to do 2 centimeters. Don't cut it. Don't cut it. Okay, we're going to put this piece on first. Why? Now, because it's going to make it a bit stronger. My God. And I'm going to put this piece on first. This is the bit you're going to write on. Just so I can cover up that little cut that I just did. We don't want to do that. Okay. Just make sure that it sticks down. Get that colour out of the way and come down. We're going to score through this lot here. Let's score 2. And this folds over this way like this. You won't see that bit. Now this bit down here, you're going to have a little bit of paper that you can pop in here that you might have trimmed off, or you can trim a little piece off. And we're just going to add some glue. This has got a different type of stand on it, card. Okay, it's a fun fold card, remember? So it's going to be a little bit different to the normal card. So we're just going to use this tiny little bit down here, under here. If my hands want to work, it will be really, really amazing. Get your papered snips and just trim it off to where you're going to line it up. Okay, now this is going to go like this. Okay, so it opens up like this. So you want to measure it to the bottom. You want it to come to the bottom, but you want it to have 3 sides with a border. But you want it to come directly to the bottom so it stands. But you only want to put glue on this bit here. I'll have to be careful who I give this one to, won't I? Because I cut it. I'll keep this as a sample. So line it right up to the bottom, but have your border on each side, and then your border at the top. Because it's going to stand like this. It's a gorgeous card, and then that way they can pick it up and they can pull down on it. Now this bit here, you can put whatever you like in here. You can put even a little bit of your strip of your designer series paper. You can put a bow, you can put a little bit of thread, you can put a little bit of ribbon. Whatever you have that matches your card, and it will just flip over. Just make sure that we have them all glued nice and tight there and there, and then it will flip. You can push back up and it will go back up. Has anyone made one with me today? If you have, how did it go? So this is called a waterfall card. Hi Debbie, good to see you. So you can sort of see now you've got your little back bit like this. It hinges on like this. You've got that little bit of paper here. You can even decorate it up with a bit of paper here too if you want to. You can have happy birthday, or my little sample one that I've had. This one I made up. It's got a thank you on it. This one's done with designer series paper, so you can sort of see that it's done with the designer series paper. It's good to have a little template for yourself, because it's not that you're going to, it's just that you might forget. How good is our designer series paper, homemade one, with the bought one? How good is that? How does it fits in so beautiful? And then just grab your waterfall, and then you can sort of see it's going to flip over. And then it's just going to go back up. Just got to hold it properly. And then it's going to flip back. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one and the waterfall card. We will take a 5-minute break or a 10-minute break. We'll come back at 2 o'clock and I'll get organised for the next class and we'll do the next one. Thank you for watching me today. God bless you, and I hope you enjoyed this making your own designer series paper and your little waterfall card. Bye for now.